that could really do that. Actually, I don't even need 10. If God say one of us can put 1,000 flight, one of us can bring in 10,000. I believe that. I said that some years ago. They was looking at me like, all right, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right. I bet you when God get through with people, they'll see 10,000 people, but then that number gonna be shortened. But like the Gideonites, because then I say, God, I want to multiply this, but then God gonna weed it through because he gonna know every 10,000. It's like a person that got a job. They come in and tell that person to sweep the floor. He get to saying, hey, I don't want to sweep the floor. I don't want to do this, that, and the other. Then that person, you got the job for what particular reason? Why would you go to work and you asked to do something and you ain't going to sweep the floor, this, that, and the other, but you happy that you got the position? You ought to be thinking, quit doing the sidewalk stuff and notice that you got a position. You didn't have it before. So you ought to be grateful because you probably didn't sweep the floor at your house. But now you learning the basic fundamentals of how to survive if you was put in another place. Because I tell you this, the truth of the fact of the matter is, I wouldn't want no person on my staff, you know what I'm saying, that ain't gonna work as hard as I had to work. I wouldn't want somebody on my team that ain't gonna put put their heart into what it is out of love. See, what I do for people is out of love because of the blessing of the Lord. See, when you got the blessing of the Lord on you, let me just rewind that just a tad little bit. When you got the blessing of the Lord, have the gift of the blessing or the gift of faith, because that don't come from man. I can't bless you particularly with the gift of faith, but I can teach you how to get the gift of faith. You see, so the gift of God make it room for you. Now, that necessarily might not be where you think it may be. Your faith may not be welcome in certain companies. But let me tell you this. When you get in a position to be a creator who can create what's creative, you just might be able to use your gift. Now, let me go back again, make an assertive time for that to take place. We know you got that faith. We're not trying to take you away from that, but we need you here, and we want to not make you compromise from that which you have on the inside, but we want to really be a blessing to you and your household. Now, there's two ways to look at that. You can look at that like, man, you ain't about to swift me. That got the gift of faith, that got the proven track record that, hey, they can multiply what it is they said they can multiply, or they got it in their heart to multiply it, but they just need the right utensils and tools to make it happen. And if you was just to give them the opportunity, I look at it like this. If you particularly was a business owner and you gave me your business and you gave me the rights to it, I'm pretty sure if you gave me everything with it, see, I'm kind of particular. I don't just take anything after I done been with God. So you got to offer me what I need to continue what I need. See, I'm not going to go for the low class because I serve a high class God. So I don't have to come to you to fill out your application. You got to come to me and fill out my application. Come on out of here. And how does that? I gotta see if you coming to bless me. I don't need your stuff. You need what I got. I'm coming to you. So if I come to you, then I need what you have. You know why? Because I carry the anointing of God on my life. And guess what? You got to be really, you could be Pharaoh. You could be resurrected for real. See, nobody with 5 loaves of bread. If you give it to me, it'll multiply. Yeah, not only for everybody else, but that's all fine. And the other, and I know what I can do, and I can prove it to you what I can do. If you have a week with me and walk with me and see what our person give me, I could say no. I don't want that. I don't want it that's ever connected to you. Then guess what? You got somebody, you can employ me. I'm coming to where you at. You can come, I'll be the first one there. If it's going to help God and it's going to multiply, if you give it to me, even if it ain't even gotta be much per se. But if I ain't gonna be no low estate, I'm not taking no low position. Oh no. But if a person come to me and it's gonna help a lot of people, and I ain't gotta do nothing crazy to get it, watch this. You a person that's you got a creator who can create what's creative. But if you ain't giving me nothing and I gotta go do something on my own, you can forget about connecting with me. Because if I don't see no evidence that you doing anything and I gotta go do it myself, then I'ma say, nah, I don't think I want to. You ain't about to muzzle the ox to tread the corn around here. If I gotta barely make it and off this, that, and other off of what you giving, then you can forget that. You got to place it you got to place your gift in my hands. Don't promise it in my mind. Give me your gift in your hands. That little boy in scriptures, he did it. He gave him something. It's people that gave me stuff and I went to pray for it and they got multiplied. I ain't joking. I put it in the fire before. I done threw some stuff that people gave me straight in the fire. Because at Carter, when I was at Carter here in Detroit, I had to try. I needed heat. So I threw it in the fire to see if it was worth something. And it came back and I found out that it got doubled. They called me up and told me that business is going on even greater. So I was like, whoa. God, you really serious about this? This thing get double. So that's the error of Christ right there. That don't mean particularly that I'm Jesus Christ of Nazareth, because that's not my name. That's not who I am per se. I'm not Jesus Christ of Nazareth. No, that's not who I am. I know I'm King Calvin Jones Jr., aka King Cal Cutter. There's a difference. Christ died on a cross for all mankind. Now, would I do that for everybody? That would be some deep mess, to get on a cross and let you whoop me. Shoot, I won't let you do that in the natural sense. You couldn't even touch me without me punching you back. Literally, if you punch me, I'm going to hit you right back. But Christ, he took it all on the cross. If you come at me one way, that's a true fact. I'm taking on the promises that Christ gave me, but I will not I'm not going to go to the cross of Calvary. I'm not going to hang my head low for the whole world. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, he did all of that. So I ride with the King, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He did do all of that. He did give his life. He's still showing me as an heir of Christ. See, people don't know I said an heir with Christ and a joint heir. An heir with God. See, there's a difference when I say that. Some people can think, well, is he Jesus Christ? Even if I told you I was, that don't mean that I was, because that don't mean that I am. Because that's what I know I'm not. I know I'm not the Christ. I'm not going to make me be the Christ. Some people will make you the Christ. They'll make you the Christ. They'll make you the ain't I Christ. They will make you the ain't I Christ. But that's not, you can't put me there because you want somebody you can see. See, people, you got to watch out on folks. They will particularly try to make you that because they can't see him. So they think that, oh, that's Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Oh, Lord, that's him. He returned again. He came all the way to Jerusalem, to Detroit. No, that's not where I was born. You can check the records. I wasn't born in Jerusalem, so I know I'm not Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And he got the nails in his hand and the nails in his feet, and he had the marks to prove it. But this fact, I said I'm the righteousness of Christ. So there's a difference. I'm the righteousness of the Lord and Savior. Meaning that whatever was good about him, that's the part that I got, that I'm connected to with me. And so I'm an heir with God and a joint heir with Christ, but the blessing of the Lord make it rich and he had no sorrow with it. But what I was saying is, if you see King Nebuchadnezzar got a lot of wealth that the prophet did not have. He didn't have particular money, but he was blessed with the gift of faith. But let me tell you what happened right there, though. Check this out. Here go the gift of faith. The gift of faith was this, that the king, he could have had all the money, but he ain't had no guide. He didn't know what direction was. He was getting ready to be overtaken. And he didn't know nothing. He didn't know where he was going or how he was going to do what. As a matter of fact, they was about to come up on him and he needed to know what was going to come up on him at the time. So he needed a Joseph. Just after he could have been a king. He could have had the money, but so Pharaoh, his compadres that was a little higher, they was classes of them. See, there's classes to get to the top. And see, Joseph's destiny wasn't with Potiphar. Potiphar was a low person. He wasn't the high king at the time. See, Joseph was already a king from the beginning. When he told his brothers, look, I'm going to be higher than y'all, point blank. They thought, all right, so we about to cause everything to go wrong and we going to set you up. We going to put you in a trap. So that's what they did. They put him in a trap. But guess what? Time came for them to sell him off. And they sold him to the wrong people. And they didn't even know that they had to come right back to this tale. But when he came back, he was the king. And they was so stupid. Like, dude, we didn't know what we did. That would feel stupid. If they would have felt dumb. And then they set him up in the process, but they didn't know they was going to get put in the same trap they put him in. And he set them up. Ain't that something? He set them up when they thought they set him up. And they thought they was probably going to do it again, but it wasn't going to work that way. They was in for the treat of their life regardless to what they thought, because they had put it in their heart to put him in the trap in the first place. So when you thought that you was going to be put him in the trap, he put you in a trap. And that's the wake up call that you had that Joseph brothers had to get. They thinking, we got him in a trap. He think he going to be over us. Okay. So what we going to do is we're going to particularly make it seem